Are your e-learning courses failing to make an impact? Do your learners tune out and forget what they've learned as soon as they finish the course? The solution is not as complicated as you might think. It's storytelling. Welcome to WizCabin. Welcome to the video where we will dive into the world of e-learning and explore the power of storytelling. In this video, we will cover tips and tricks on how to use storytelling in your e-learning courses to make them more engaging, memorable, and effective. Let's get started. What the importance of storytelling in e-learning. Storytelling has been used for centuries to engage, educate, and entertain audiences. In e-learning, it can be used to achieve the same goals, while also helping learners retain information more effectively. For example, have you ever heard a story that you just can't forget? That's because storytelling is a powerful tool for creating meaningful connections with your learners. When learners connect with the story, they are more likely to remember the information that is being taught. Some of the key benefits of incorporating storytelling into your e-learning course. First and foremost, storytelling helps learners understand and retain information. By presenting information in the form of a story, it makes it easier for learners to connect with the content and remember it later. Second, storytelling creates a memorable and engaging learning experience. Stories are inherently interesting and captivating, which can keep learners engaged and motivated to continue learning. Third, storytelling encourages learners to think critically and problem solve. When learners are presented with a story, they're not just passively consuming information, they're actively trying to make sense of what's happening and how it relates to the topic at hand. Finally, storytelling supports the development of critical thinking skills. By engaging learners in the process of understanding and interpreting a story, they're practicing their critical thinking skills, which can have a positive impact on their overall learning experience. By incorporating storytelling techniques into your e-learning courses, you can not only keep your learners engaged, but also help them retain the information better. So, how do we do it? Let's dive in. The first tip for effective storytelling in e-learning is to start with a hook. To capture the attention of your learners, you need to start with a hook. This could be a provocative statement, a surprising fact, or a question that your learners will want to know the answer to. For example, imagine you're creating an e-learning course on conflict resolution. You could start with a hook like this. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you just couldn't find a way to resolve a conflict? This question immediately grabs the attention of your learners and makes them want to find out more about how to resolve conflicts effectively. The second one is creating an emotional connection with the audience. When learners are emotionally invested in a story, they are more likely to remember the information and lessons being taught. This helps to make the learning experience more memorable and engaging, which can lead to better understanding and retention of the material. Additionally, emotional connections can help to create a deeper connection with the learners and make the content more meaningful and relevant to their lives. For example, imagine you're creating an e-learning course on customer service. You could use a story about a customer who had a terrible experience with a company and how that experience was turned around by an exceptional customer service representative. This story will create an emotional connection with your learners, and they will be more likely to remember the lessons on providing excellent customer service. Tip 3: Use of visuals. Visuals can be a powerful tool for enhancing the impact of your storytelling in e-learning. They can help create visual connections, bring stories to life, and make the information more memorable. For example, imagine you're creating an e-learning course on financial planning. You could use visuals, like graphs and charts, to help illustrate the concepts and make the information more understandable and memorable. The next tip is making it interactive. One effective way to encourage storytelling in e-learning is by incorporating questions into your content. These questions can be in the form of quizzes, polls, or open-ended discussions. By asking questions, learners are forced to engage with the material and think more deeply about the concepts they're learning. This helps to build a deeper understanding of the material, as well as reinforce key ideas. Another way to improve storytelling in e-learning is by incorporating interactive elements into your content. Interactive elements such as simulations, games, and scenario-based activities can help learners apply what they have learned to real-life situations. This helps learners to see the relevance of the material and encourages them to think critically about how to apply it. For example, consider a scenario-based activity that puts learners in the shoes of a manager at a company. The scenario presents a problem that the manager must solve, such as how to increase sales. The learner must consider different options and make decisions based on the information they have learned in the course. This type of activity allows learners to see the practical applications of the material and encourages them to think critically about how to use it in real-life situations. Using real-life examples. Consider incorporating real-life scenarios into your e-learning content that are relevant to your learners and their industries. For instance, if you're teaching a course on business management, you could use a case study of a successful company that demonstrates the principles you're teaching. This not only makes the content more engaging, but it also helps learners see how the concepts can be applied in the real world, making them more memorable and impactful. Additionally, using real-life examples can help learners identify with the material on a personal level, leading to greater understanding and retention of the information. The next tip is knowing your audience. It's important to consider their interests, age group, education level, and prior knowledge on the subject you're teaching. You can do this by researching your audience or conducting surveys to gather information. Once you understand your learners, you can tailor your stories and content to match their needs and preferences. This will help to keep them engaged and focused on the material, which will lead to a more effective learning experience. For example, if you're teaching a course on financial literacy to a group of college students, you may choose to use real-life examples of successful entrepreneurs who started their own businesses. This will not only help your learners understand the concepts you're teaching, but also inspire and motivate them to think critically about their own financial goals. On the other hand, if you're teaching the same subject to a group of retirees, you may choose to use case studies that highlight the importance of saving and investing for a secure future. Both examples are effective, but they are tailored to the specific needs and interests of each audience. In conclusion, when creating an e-learning course, it's important to consider several key factors to ensure its effectiveness. Start with a hook to capture the attention of your learners and create emotional connections through storytelling. Use visuals to bring the content to life and make it more memorable, and make the course interactive through questions, simulations, and scenario-based activities. Incorporate real-life examples that are relevant to your learners, and tailor the content to match the audience interests, age group, education level, and prior knowledge. And lastly, create a story arc. A story arc is a classic structure that is used in storytelling. It includes an introduction, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. Consider using this structure to make your stories more engaging and memorable. For example, let's say you're creating an e-learning course on effective time management. You could use a story arc to tell the story of a person who struggles with managing their time and eventually learns how to become more organized and productive. The introduction could introduce the character and the challenges they face. The rising action could show their attempts to manage their time and the difficulties they encounter. The climax could be a moment where they realize they need to make a change, and the falling action could show their journey to becoming more organized. The resolution could be a scene where the character has successfully improved their time management skills and is now living a more balanced life. By using a story arc, you can create a memorable and engaging e-learning experience for your learners. In conclusion, to incorporate storytelling in your e-learning courses, start with a hook to grab the learner's attention, create emotional connections, use visuals to enhance the impact, make it interactive to encourage critical thinking, use real-life examples, and understand your audience to tailor the content to their needs and preferences. By following these tips, you can create an e-learning experience that is engaging, memorable, and effective for your learners. With these tips and tricks, you can start incorporating storytelling into your e-learning courses today. But don't stop here. Experiment with different approaches and see what works best for you and your learners. The key is to find a storytelling style that fits your course and resonates with your learners. Remember, the goal is to create a memorable and impactful learning experience for your learners, and storytelling can be a powerful tool to help you achieve that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. If you did, don't forget to like and share the video. Your support helps us create more content for you. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next video.